Welcome to She Coaches Coaches. I'm your host, Candy Motzek, and I'm going to help you find the clarity, confidence, and courage to become the coach that you are meant to be. If you're a new coach, or if you've always wanted to be a life coach, then this is the place for you. We're going to talk all about mindset and strategies and how to, because step by step only works when you have the clarity, courage, and confidence to take action. Let's get started. Hello, friends. I am so glad you're here. Welcome back to this episode of She Coaches Coaches. I've been releasing a new podcast episode every single week for more than a year now, and I've covered a lot of ground. Every day, new listeners tune in, they find this podcast, they subscribe and listen. And if this is you and you're a new listener, welcome. I am so glad you found me. And I trust that you'll hang around. If you have been listening for a while, I am so pleased that you're here and that you join me every week. And I trust that you're learning lots and that these episodes help you take the next step in growing your confidence, overcoming your obstacles, and moving to become a fully booked coach. I want to try something a little bit different over the next few episodes. I want to hear from you. I create this podcast from listening to my clients and hearing their challenges. And then I record these things, something with them in mind, something to help them. Now, if you're not my client yet, I want to hear from you too. So I'm running a little bit of a promotion, and here's how it works. It's easy. First, you're going to DM me at Candy Motzek on Instagram. And you're going to tell me what you want to learn more about. Share with me your ideas for these podcast episodes. I love recording these episodes, and I want them to be the most helpful they can be for you. And the only way I can do that is if you tell me. So here are some examples. Maybe you're having a particular challenge in some area of growing your coaching business and you'd like some help on it. Or maybe you've got a mindset block and you just don't know what to do next. Or maybe you're stuck in a particular area. Or you've just got a question. Send me a DM at Candy Motzek on Instagram and tell me what you would like to hear. I read all of your notes and I reply to them all too. And now, if I think that your idea is going to apply to a larger audience, I'm going to do a podcast episode on it. Then I will dedicate the episode to you. I'll give you a shout out on social and on the episode. And like I said, I'm dedicating it to you with a thank you for giving me the idea. All right. I'm looking forward to this, and I can't wait to hear from you. So back in episode 36, we talked about some new perspectives for when you're uncomfortable charging for coaching. Today, I'm going to go more in depth in one area. This question, what is the value of coaching? And what I mean by this is not necessarily so that you charge more for your service, although that may be the right thing for you. And believe me, there are a lot of coaches out there who are undercharging. I wrote down potentially undercharging, but honestly, undercharging. I see so many new coaches charge $10 or $20 for a coaching session just because they're so eager to get a client, any client. Charging like this comes from a place of worry and lack. And it also comes from a place of self-doubt and a doubt in what the value of coaching is. When we worry that there aren't enough clients in the world, or worry that maybe we're not that great and we really can't help them, then we undercharge. This question, what is the value of coaching, is also because I want you to understand deeply the impact that coaching can have on your client's life and the ripple effect that that would create in the world. So let's get down to the question. What is the value of coaching? So what's the definition of value? It's defined as worth, usefulness, importance. The part of the definition that I think really applies here is this phrase, usefulness or importance. So, how important is coaching? Is it helpful? What makes it worthwhile? What makes it useful? As a direct result of coaching, people get more in touch with what matters to them. They realize that what they want is important. They learn to value themselves and to take their desires into account. Then they set goals to achieve more of what they want or less of what they don't want. And they take action. They move forward to fulfill that goal. They change their life. People who have a coach are more satisfied and fulfilled in their life. They learn resilience. They feel better about themselves. They perform better, and they intentionally create so much more meaningful success. Who wouldn't want that? Plus, with coaching, they reach their goals faster and more easily too. Coaches hold space. We listen, we question, and we reflect the client's perspective back to them so they can see what's going on in their own mind. It sounds simple, but it's very rare to experience this in a regular conversation with a coworker or a friend or a family member. This is a skill, this simple conversation, and all coaches hone this skill over time. Everyone wants to be seen and heard. It's one of our most basic needs, the need to matter. And coaching fills that need. One new thought, one new perspective can completely transform someone's life. Now, this sounds all fine and dandy, right? Like it sounds very exalted, but it's a little bit elusive. So let's talk about a real life example of the value of coaching. Let's talk about a career coach whose client is a disgruntled employee, Mary. Mary has had it up to here, and she is ready to quit her job. She wants a new job. She hates her work days, and every Sunday, she grumps around the house. She dreads Monday, and sometimes she even cries on Sunday night, and it's for so many reasons. She's exhausted from the constant demands and the critical and criticizing clients. She's got too much work to do because the company has cut back on staff. The only problem, they might have cut back on staff, but they still have the exact same amount of work to do. Mary enjoys her coworkers well enough, but the team spends most of their time complaining about management. Mary does not like her supervisor. This boss never has a kind word, ignores her input, and criticizes any other ideas. And Mary has been passed over for a promotion 3 times. Like I said, she wants a new job, and she comes to coaching feeling stressed and worn down and frantic to make this change. So Mary hires a coach. And initially, the coach might help Mary learn how to manage her stress, help her source and establish ways to support her emotional needs, and find ways to keep herself physically healthy too. Job changes don't happen overnight. So the priority would be to help her get a new perspective and to feel better right now in the short term before they even begin to tackle that career search. She can begin to feel better right now. She doesn't have to wait to get that new job. This means that she's going to be so much more constructive. She's going to be healthier. She's going to have a better job search because she's not going to be so stressed, and she won't be so frantically in a rush. This alone might mean that it does take a little bit longer to change jobs, but the job that she's going to be going for, the one that she's going to get, is going to be so much better of a match for her. And it's going to be at a company where she's done the research and she knows that's a good place to work. This saves her from taking any old job that might show up just out of desperation. She wants to get out of this current job and she might just jump ship if she gets an offer from anybody. But doing that without the research and the preparation, she may unknowingly be creating a bigger mess. So sometimes a little bit slower is the better approach. Once Mary works with her coach and she's done the work and has eventually moved into her new role, she's going to have so much more job satisfaction, more self-satisfaction, and she'll be working in a place that is a better match. So working with a career coach will probably also mean that her salary is aligned. And since she's going to probably have some better negotiation skills, Mary will make more money at this new job, more money than the job that she left. It's a win-win, right? Now, because Mary has worked with her career coach, the results can be summarized into these 4 areas. She'll have more satisfaction, less stress. She's a better fit in this company and a better fit for the new job, and make more money too. So what's the value of these 4 things? These 4 things that are a direct result of coaching and the work that the coach and Mary have done together. So number 1, more satisfaction. This means that Mary is going to look forward to work many times instead of crying on Sunday night and instead of grumping around all day Sunday. And when I say this to you, it might sound kind of glib, but think about it. She has her weekend, 2 days. In the past, she might have spent half of an entire weekend, every single weekend, dreading Monday. This gives her her weekend back, and that is a huge deal. Now, because she's satisfied, she's going to contribute more. She'll grow more. And think of how that could impact her relationships at home. She could be more present for her family on the weekends and evenings. She could have more fun and connection with all the people that matter to her. Number 2, less stress. Less stress is going to lead to way better sleep and less chronic health issues, less doctor visits and medications. Chronic stress is a known contributor to so many health issues, things like mental health problems like depression and anxiety, cardiovascular disease, obesity and weight gain, skin and hair problems, and gastrointestinal problems. All of that can be a result of stress. So when you learn how to manage your stress by working with a coach, the payoff is huge. And less stress means a longer, more vibrant, and healthy life. Number 3, better fit. Mary's going to feel way more comfortable within that new company. She's going to be true to herself. She'll show up in her strengths and ultimately do more satisfying work and have more fun. I bet she's also going to have better career advancement possibilities too. So instead of continually being passed over for that promotion, a better fit might mean more mentoring, more guidance. So she's better prepared when it is time to apply to move up. And finally, the 4th area, more money. A higher salary means more choice, possibly more options, and even more freedom. It could mean student debts paid off faster, or you might qualify for a mortgage instead of being a long-term renter. Maybe you can afford to send your kids to a better school. It can mean so much more. Even if you start a job and you get 10,000 more per year in that new job, those salary increases are going to be higher too. So the money compounds. These raises add up year over year over the length of your career. So what's the value of Mary deciding to work with a career coach? It's not just in the decision. She decided, she committed, she did the work too. Everything in her life has changed. Now, when you think that everything in her life and in all of our lives are intertwined, I would say if I was an actuary, I might be able to actually establish the monetary value of this coaching engagement. But I don't think we need to go there. Everything in her life could change. She'll make more money. She'll be more satisfied. Her health is better. Her relationships, both with others and with herself, are also better. I can't think of anything that could not improve here. The value of coaching is a completely transformed life. So now we've talked about Mary and her immediate relationships, and that's something that we can all get our head around, but we live in community. So the spin-off is endless. Now, because Mary herself has a more satisfying life, then her friends, children, coworkers, all of her family will also be affected by this too. Maybe it's because she's a role model and shows them what's possible. Maybe it's just because she's a little bit easier to be around. Now extend that ripple effect outside of her immediate relationships. For example, Mary's less stressed. She shares a kind word at her local coffee shop drive-through in the morning. This impacts the person taking the order, and they might in turn smile a little bit more warmly at the people around them. And they tell a joke or listen a bit more compassionately, and that ripple effect grows and it goes on and on. So Mary has changed. Her relationships have changed, and every person that she interacts with can also be impacted. That is the value of coaching. This is why coaching is important. It can change lives, and being a coach is fun. I think it's the best career in the world. You should join us. If you're not sure and you're still thinking about whether you should become a coach, check it out. I think it would be a great thing for you too. So join us. We need more coaches. There's lots of room, plenty of people who would be the perfect clients for you. And I want to encourage you, if this feels like it might be the right thing for you to do your research and decide. So many people will benefit from having a coach, someone who is just like you. So that's it for today, friends. Listen, I so appreciate that you're here and you're part of my community. And I trust that you are applying this stuff too. Remember, I want to hear from you. Send me a DM at Candy Motzek with future ideas for episodes. And I'll dedicate that episode to you, and I'll give you a shout out on social as well. My clients are go-getters, and many of them have wanted to become a coach for weeks or months or even years before they finally got started. If this is your time, sign up for my free resource library, the Coaches Online Business Academy. There is lots of free help waiting for you right there, in there right now. The link is in the episode notes, waiting for you to sign up. And if you want more help, maybe you want to work more closely with me, click the link in the episode notes to find out how to apply to work with me. I'll be back and chat with you next week. Thanks again for listening today. Please hop on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a review. Also, I would love to hear from you. Did something that I say resonate? What else would you like to learn about? Click the link in the player and leave a comment on the post. This is going to give me great ideas for future episodes so I can help you best. Join me again next week for more coaching, support, and teaching to help you become the confident coach you are meant to be.